need to wait a moment and make sure that everything is working because I'm getting all kinds of weird messages about my audio. So let me kind of watch and see what is going on here before we keep on talking and nobody can hear me. This is live television, folks. Let's see if I can. Yep, it's working. So I don't know why it's telling me that. I think sometimes it just does that to see if I'm on my game. Okay, so that's something for you to tuck away is that weird stuff happens and you just have to go with it. You know what I mean? It's like it's not the end of the world and it does happen almost every time. Oh, well. So I'm Michelle Fox. I have been in the skincare and beauty direct sales business for over 20 years, but the last couple of years I have started to really use Facebook specifically to grow my business, and I've used Facebook Live very effectively to reach my customers, to increase sales, to increase my number of team members, but also to really establish a great relationship with my customer base and have a lot of fun. So I had invested hours upon hours of teaching myself, basically. And I just thought, there are so many people that are like me that really don't know, don't have a computer background, and don't have hours and hours to spend learning it, but need these types of skills, especially now that we're pretty much all working from home. So I decided to do these videos. Am I a professional computer expert? Heck no, that will be obvious within moments. But my goal is to just talk to you, just friend to friend, and say, this is how it works, sister. You don't need a lot of money. You don't need a computer degree. Let's just go for it. And last week we talked about just kind of the broad strokes of going live, that you really have to make sure that you have lots of light, that you want to have a nice camera angle so that it looks flattering. Be aware of your background, which BTW, I kind of had to turn things around a little bit, which I'm not really loving it. I'm kind of distracted by it myself, but I got to mix things up once in a while. Your background, you want to work with material that you're really familiar with and comfortable with, especially when you're first starting out, because you really, really want to be yourself. That said, you want to be yourself like after a boatload of coffee. You want to be yourself times 10. You want to be yourself that, super excited and full of energy and raring to go. You don't want to come, kind of dragging. They're not there to cheer you up. You're there to like get them fired up, right? So I hope that many of you attempted to do the homework. I know that it's hard and it's scary to go live the first few times. I was petrified. And the very first one, I talked really quiet and slow, and I was kind of looking around, and it's just like, wow, like, well, I don't know what I was thinking. But the more you do it, like anything else, the better it gets. And I was just reading some of the stats, and I thought, I need to tell you this so that you understand why we want to learn this, okay? Video obviously is going to be more appealing than just, a still post, just words on a page. But when it's a Facebook Live video, it gets 6 times the attention as any other video, like if somebody posted a YouTube video or something else. It gets 6 times the amount of interaction, and it gets 10 times the number of comments. So it definitely is to your advantage to know how to use this tool. And it's free, for crying out loud. So last week we used your phone. That is the simplest way to do it. And if you don't have a means of using a desktop site, if you don't have a laptop or a computer setup, if your phone is the only way you plan on ever going live, then probably last week's training is probably all that you'll really need. You might find a few tidbits, the rest of the weeks, but we are going to be talking more about the benefits of why you would want to use the producer studio, big words, but why you would want to use the actual studio to go live, because there are some benefits. I do have some notes, not so much a workbook this time, just kind of some notes. And so if you took the time to print those off, then there's a place for you to jot some things down. I wanted to mention the benefits of why you want to go live from a desktop, specifically on your business page. First of all, you are able to schedule your videos in advance. That is a huge benefit because you can build audience anticipation. Therefore, there are going to be people waiting for you, which is really, really cool. And you can really hype them up. You can reward them for showing up on time. You can have an on time drawing. You can encourage anticipation, by having, if you like and comment, you'll go into a drawing, that kind of thing. There are so many ways to just kind of get people more excited. And you can set reminders when you do a video that way, when you schedule it. You can have a countdown. Everybody sees on your page, the number of seconds. It's like, I think from 2 minutes all the way down, it counts down until you go live. And it just looks really official. It makes it look more credible. Also, you can use closed captions. This is a biggie. You can select, and you have to choose it. I'll show you where, but you have to choose closed captions. 85% of people not listening, 85% of people watching Facebook, looking at Facebook, do not have the volume on. 85%. So when you are doing a video, if they don't know what you're talking about, they're not going to stop. So it is a great, great value to have captions. And I know you don't know how hard it is to do your own captions. I've tried that a few times. It's a nightmare. And you can also pay to have other apps create captions. That's a giant pain in the rear, and it can be expensive. So the fact that you can just click a button and have those captions generated for you is huge. So you want to take advantage of that. You can also, when you are using your desktop from your business page, you can simultaneously broadcast to other groups. That's huge, huge, huge. You can recommend other groups. Frankly, I don't know where that shows up. I always check that. Like, I always recommend my VIP group, but I don't know how people see that. I'll have to research that. Maybe you can find out and tell me. But it's a good idea, so I always do it. Okay, so you can recommend. You can do it more than one. Boy, just as I said that, I was thinking something else that'll come to me later. And then this one is kind of sort of maybe. You might have better video audio quality. It depends. When I use the Facebook Live producer using my laptop, using Facebook Live like I'm going to show you tonight, and I don't use a third-party software, which I know you don't know what that means yet, the video quality is not as good as when I use my phone. Our phones are incredible. Our phones are like phenomenal. And so, that camera is really, really good. My laptop, for some reason, isn't as good as that. When you move to like a third party software, it's like it's kind of like somehow through some magic, because I'm not a technical person, I just call it magic. It's almost like you're using their camera somehow. And so then it takes it up to a whole other level where it looks like super nice. So, you can kind of play around with that and see, and you can buy a webcam too. That's another option. But whatever. I mean, it's just, you will see what your options are, but I am the kind of person, I have to understand everything. And so when I would notice, okay, now this video, looked really smooth and good, but then this video, was kind of so. Why is that? It's like it would drive me crazy until I figured that out. So I'm just giving you these little nuggets of wisdom. So, okay, so on your notes, go to going live from a page, those notes right there, because we're just going to jump in and go for it. Um, so this is week 2. We're going to go live from a business page. If you don't have a business page set up yet, don't panic, but it really is worth doing, really and truly. I've already mentioned several reasons why in terms of Facebook Live, but there are Scooby Million other reasons as well. I guess that's not my job to go into tonight. But trust me. Okay, so let's see. Where's my mouse? Okay, here it is. Oh, okay, now that is not cool. Here we go. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Create live. All right. So underneath where you create posts, why do they have to have so many things? I don't know. I've got so many like other things that they are asking me to do that I just wish I could click it and make it disappear forever. Okay. So underneath create post is create live. Create live, create event, create offer, create job. I will tell you now that there are tons of things on the business page that if you click it, it will introduce you to another app. So I do click things to kind of see what it is, but don't be all willy-nilly about it. Yeah, we'll have to chat about that another time. I'll probably need a whole series on that. But as you can see, like there are lots of things. This is a very busy page. Like when people visit my page, this isn't what they see. This is what I see as the administrator of this page. And it's too much. Like if I were Mrs. Facebook, I would have him change this. But anyway, so we're going to create live. Come on. Here we go. I have done this before, I swear. Well, it's just taking a sweet time. Okay, so over here, you've got options of go live now. This is new. Go live with others. That is so cool. If you've got a team member or a customer or a guest speaker or something like that, that is super cool. We're not going to go into it, but I love it. Schedule a live video. That's what we're going to play with. And then upcoming live videos and events. That is a way for you to post, what you've got going on in the future. But what we want to do is schedule a live video. And it automatically will create an announcement post for you. This will happen for sure. Okay. That's not something that, you get to decide. Okay. So I will make one for tomorrow. Oh, I'll do something like, let's see, I'll do something at noon. Here's something that's interesting. When you post at exactly on the hour, you are competing with everybody else that's posting at that time. So it's often wise to post like at 5 minutes after or 5 minutes before. Uh, I don't think people realize that you are in competition. Everybody that is a friend or every business that your customers follow are posting, and your people are only able to see so many. So you are trying to wisely find your opportunity to get yours in there, at the right time. So, um, as you know, anyway, so at 12:05, I'm going to go live tomorrow and post to a page I manage. And right now I'm posting to my business page. Okay. Title. Let's see. I'm going to talk about uh, what am I calling it? I'm doing a mid-month update for the Friday prize event. No pages to cross post. Okay, so I only have one business page, so I don't have any pages to cross post. Add a group to promote. Okay. No, I don't want to remove it. Duh. All right. So did that stay? Yeah. Okay. In audience settings, this is like if you wanted to change that, if you want it, to make sure that people are over 15, over 18, over 21, that kind of thing. I don't usually worry about that. If you were like a local business and you only wanted people in your actual, county to be able to see this, you would click here, that kind of thing. But for the most part, I don't worry about that kind of stuff. Okay, all right. It's asking me for a description. Let's talk about how many entries you have in the drawing. All right. Select an image. That is super important. You want to find something that is like really fun and is going to draw their attention, make them feel really excited. So let's see. I'm looking at right now you can't see me, but I'm looking for something fun. Okay, we'll just find a winner. We are visual creatures that you do want to take the time to put in an image. And just Google whatever floats your boat. So whatever your topic is, Google it and find, the coolest, prettiest, whatever image for it. Okay, so now I can go over here and kind of see what it looks like. All right, so this is like what you would actually share if somebody wanted, let's say your mom doesn't get on Facebook very often, and she just said, just send me a link so that all I have to do is click, and I'll know where to go. You could copy this and send her this link, and that is your link to your Facebook Live. Very cool. When you see this on your page, there are going to be like blue tabs at the top. The first one will say camera, and that means like the camera on your laptop. And the next one will say stream, which means that you want to use a third party streaming, software. We're not ready for that yet. So you would just choose camera. Okay. So, and that's on the list. It's on the notes that I gave you. So the only thing that you would be looking at that's different at this point is that there would be like tabs at the top. I believe they're blue. You are going to choose camera because you're going to be using your camera on your laptop or your computer. I don't have that option for a few different reasons, but trust me, it'll be there. So you would click on that. So none of this would pertain to you. Don't look at any of that scary stuff. Pretend like it's not there. We're going to talk about that scary stuff another time. But you do want to look at these settings, okay? Stream, I don't think you need to worry about any of that. Yeah, no, don't need to worry about any of that. But viewing, this is a good one. Here you want to, this is the biggest one. I don't care what you do with any of the other settings, but yes, turn on auto-generated captions. Yes, yes, and yes. Okay, turn that on. Comments, whatever. I don't monkey around with that. It's like, if you only want your followers to be able to comment as opposed to like somebody that just happens upon your page while you're live, yada yada, whatever. I don't know. I let everybody comment, and then if they're weirdos, I delete it later. So let's see. Preview your stream, live video. Yeah, all the rest of it is just kind of like telling you stuff. This is what your post is going to look like. So your announcement, post, preview. When you schedule your live video, an announcement will be posted immediately. Okay, and so that's what it's going to look like. Tomorrow at 12:05, tune in to watch live. And you can show this tab on your page. So I'm going to go ahead and publish it, even though all my people are going to be like, what in the heck are you talking about? Okay, let's do it. I guess I have to do this now, don't I? Okay, so it has been scheduled. So now it's already showing me that it is waiting for my live video. Anyway, these are the areas where you can change, like if you're using a stream key or your camera, that kind of thing. I thought it was up top, but I guess it's right here. Interesting. Anyway, so this is where it shows that you are set up, that you are, basically you're like a day out, and when you want to practice, when you want to come in and kind of see what's what, if you want to tweak something, if you wanted to come in and change your description or change the, let's see, no, yeah, if you wanted to change this description over here, change the title, anything like that, you could do that. So that, this is your studio. So, okay. So, but I think you get the gist. So once you're in there, you're just, clicking through. I've got the list of what you need to do, your instructions, your step by step, what's happening. Let's talk about concepts again. You know what I mean? Kind of the bigger ideas behind, like, what should you talk about, why, what do I do to get their attention, and that kind of thing. So I added a couple pages to our, workbook. So some suggestions. When you go live this time, all right. So this is going to be bigger, better, something a little more substantial. The first one was sort of a little 5-minute blurb, like maybe just a short intro, who you are, how you got started, maybe a little promo or something. This one is going to have a little more meat on its bones. So how about this one is, let's say it's like a 10-minute demonstration on how to use something that you sell is a possibility. Even better than that is, like, let's say you sell essential oils, and you know that well, let's see, that a certain combination will help you sleep. I think what a cool video would be then would be to talk about the combination, how to combine them, and what you would combine them with, what the element is that you add to it, and all that good stuff, and what you would put it in, why it helps you sleep, what do you do with it, once you make it, that kind of thing. Here's why: because then it's more about you are adding value to your viewer rather than you were just asking for a sale from them. So think in those terms as well. You don't want everything that you bring to the table to be, me, 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 me. Like, buy from me, listen to me. I want you to listen to my promotion. As much as possible, you want to think, how can I enrich their lives with what I'm about to say or do? So, how last time I said, think about something that you know really well, that you're comfortable with. I would say this time, think about what could you offer in your sphere that ties in with your business, but is also something that they could apply whether they make a purchase from you or not. Not saying that you can't bring up your business or your products, but so for example, I sell skincare and makeup. So I maybe could talk about, the steps of proper skincare. What do we need to do and why? At what age would we start, worrying about it, or working toward it? Or what are the different skin types, and what types of products do you need if you are this skin type versus this skin type? You see what I'm saying? Because then it's not so much about, buy this product. It's information that I'm offering. And then if they also want to, come to me then to solve that issue that might be exposed, then I have that available as well. Just a little thought. So think of something to tell them, something that you can give them at the end of the presentation also, so that they really want to stay till the end. So last time, week one, I said, I showed you my fingernails, and I said, no, stay till the end, and I'll tell you how I got these nails for like less than $10. But I forgot. So I'm going to tell you right now. But fun stuff like that. Like if you say, hang with me till the end and I will give you a promo code. Or I'm going to tell you about the funniest thing that ever happened to me, when I, you know, did my first party, or I don't know, whatever. But something that makes them kind of feel like, oh my gosh, I've got to hear this. This is going to be great. And then they stay with you to, watch the whole thing. But these are the best. These are Dashing Diva Magic Press nails. No, I don't make any money from this. But these are like Just like when I was little, there was something called Lee press-on nails, and it's the same concept. Like you pull off this piece of plasticky stuff. Oops, I already dropped it. And but it's not a nail strip like where it's the nail polish. It's the actual nail. So it's like a fake nail, and it's got like the adhesive thingamajiggy. So you pull that off, and then you just stick it right onto your fingernail. And I'm telling you that it looks like a manicure. And if you baby it, it will last like a week. And it's like $9.99 or $8.99, something like that. And you get 30 of the fingernail things. So that's a really good deal. And you can get them at Ulta. I usually buy them online, but because there's so many more to choose from. Just thought I'd mention that. Okay, moving on. So remember to encourage interaction by offering a prize for commenting and liking and that kind of stuff. The more people interact with your video, the more likely other people will see it. I'm sure you've heard that. You've heard about the Facebook algorithm. So if you're going to take the time to go live, you want them to stay the whole time. You want them liking, you want them commenting, you want them interacting, you want them to be there on time. So you're thinking these things through. How can you reward them for doing those things? How can you get them to do what you want them to do? You want to reply to their comments. So that's why I bought all these goofy glasses, because my real glasses are progressive, and when I look straight ahead, I can't see the computer screen. So I bought these like super crazy powerful reading glasses so that I can see when I look straight ahead. So when somebody's asking questions, I can see, oh, you want to know how do you use that, or how many weeks does that last? And then you can respond in the moment. And people really like that. Um, on the flip side, some people get really shy. Like if you see that it pops up, so and so is watching. Some people don't like it when you call them out. So that's tricky. So I usually just address them if they comment, or if I know them and know they don't mind that I say hi to them. But sometimes, just because I see their name kind of flit up there, I don't always call them out because people get weird. Anyway, it's just a thought. Okay, you can ask your audience questions to get them to say something like, have you ever used this? Or which one is your favorite? What's your favorite shade? What's your favorite flavor? What do you make this from scratch? That kind of thing. Whatever. People love to give their opinion. They love it. So do that. Do that. You can get responses by saying something goofy like, there's certain people that I follow and they always do this, and it used to get on my nerves, but now I know why they do it. If you like that idea, say I like that in the comments. If you agree, say I agree in the comments. Hey, if you're with me, say I'm with you in the comments. Whatever. It's like their thing. It's like kind of their gimmicky thing, but you tell them what to say, and then they do it. It's like, they obey. They're like sheep. You want to, at the end, thank them for watching. And it's a great idea if you can let them know what's coming up next, so that they have this sense of, that they are part of something ongoing, which they hopefully are. Not necessarily your next live is all queued up and figured out, but even if you could say something like, the next couple of weeks, you can be looking forward to the new catalog coming out. I can hardly wait. I can't tell you, I'm sworn to secrecy, but you're going to love the spring campaign, something like that, because everything is about connection. You want them to connect with you, to connect with your brand, with your product and everything, but also you want them to feel valued, that you value them, but also that you are providing value for them, and that it's like an ongoing place. You want them to be your tribe. You want this to be a place that they look forward to coming to. You want them to feel like they know you as a person. Talk about your kids, talk about your pets, talk about your hobbies. Laugh at yourself, ask them, do you like this, do you like this print? I just got this, I can't decide if I like this one or not. you know, People love to give you their opinion, and it's you'll enjoy it too. Okay. When you're all done with your video and you click end, it will ask you, if you want to post it now. Yes, you do. And when you post it, here's the video. Okay, now I gotta stop it. Hold on. Stop. Up here, where it's like the three dots, you can click that, and then you'll have the option of editing your video. So when you are done with your live video, immediately you will have the option of editing it. And if you want to change your title, you can change your title. If you want to change your description at that point, tags are keywords. So like you could put in here, essential oils, pampered chef, whatever, storage, books, whatever your thing is, you put them in. You can put up to 10, I believe. You can also change your thumbnail. Okay, your thumbnail is the picture that shows when people first, my thumbnails are so goofy. So anyway, your thumbnail is the picture that shows when people first see your video. So you get to choose which one you want. So if you don't like the one that was chosen for you, you can go in and pick a different one, okay? So that's kind of fun. Do you have to do all this? No, but it's nice to kind of spiff it up and make sure that you like how that looks. So, all right, so that's enough of that. Okay, so those are my suggestions. Now then, I think, oh, I do have this actually, so that you can look at it instead of just me talking. These were the suggestions that we just discussed, which I can give you this if you want these actually printed out, but like I said, it's not that complicated. And then for homework, I would suggest that you choose a day and time to go live on your business page. Come up with a catchy title, find a great graphic, a picture. Schedule your video in Facebook Live video editor, and I would consider sending your broadcast to another group if you have a group. If you don't worry about it. And then also recommend your group. Remember how I had two options? I could broadcast it to another place, and I could recommend a group. So you want to do that if you have a group. If you don't, you don't have to do that. Then prepare for your video. If you need props, having visuals are great. You want to help people to stay focused so that they stay interested. So props are great. Again, check your lighting, check your background. Make sure that your notes are ready to go if you're using notes. It's wonderful if you could go live a little bit earlier in the day so that you could remind them that you're going to go live. So, for example, you would just pop on just like super quick, and you could even use your phone for that. Like you would just say, hey, don't forget, I'm coming on live to talk about, 10 ways to fall asleep faster. I'll see you tonight at 5 o'clock, whatever. That's a great way to do that. When you go live, you want to introduce yourself. Not everybody is going to know you, especially since it's a public page. Your business page is a public page. You want to ask for participation. I would love for you to participate during this time. That's the only way I know if you're really listening. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up, a heart, a smiley face, comment. If you would share this video if you enjoy it, I would really appreciate that. And then the whole dangling a carrot concept is where you say, if you stay till the end, I will give you a promo code so you can get 15% off, blah, blah, blah. And then a call to action. Call to action means, do you want them to do something? And yes, you do. You always do. But you have to ask yourself, what? What do you want them to do? At the end, when it's all said and done, do you want them to, so if you're teaching them something, then do you want them to practice that? Do you want them to take another step in the process of learning? Is there another media that they need to look for in order to learn more? You know what I mean? It's like the call to action is, buy now, click this, go here, that kind of thing. It's like people need to know what's next. And the more you can tell them that, the more professional you sound and the more they'll do what you ask them to do, and then it just kind of keeps everything moving full circle. So you want to give them a call to action. Do you want them to try something new, take advantage of a sale? Do you want them to enter a contest? Let them know what to do and have a sense of urgency. Sense of urgency, you can usually communicate that by giving a timeline. If you perceive yourself as a professional, and if even though you don't have to understand how it all works technically, and you don't have to spend a ton of time, you don't have to invest a lot of money, but if you take it seriously in the sense that I want a certain outcome, I want to do this and I'm going to do it in a timely fashion. I want to set a goal. I want to know what I expect them to do next. And when you come to the table like that, people respect you and they see you differently. My customers see me differently, and I haven't really changed. You know what I mean? It's like just because I go live and I, have all these different social media venues and that kind of thing, I'm pretty much the same. But there's definitely a sense of, boy, you really got it going on, and it's very cool. But it doesn't, you can have that too, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's not like you have to, study and practice and do 100 videos to get to that place. It's all a mindset where you just think, all right, I can do this, shoot. I'm just going to decide what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to, say this at the beginning. What, my goal is for them to join my VIP group. So, I'm going to go live on my business page and I'm going to really talk up that VIP group, and I'm going to reward them by, if they join with a friend, I'm going to give them, this percentage off. And then after that, I'm going to, you know what I'm saying? And you've just kind of got it mapped out and you just go for it and have fun with it. You will be astonished at the results. I promise you. So think about what you want to do next. And I know that it will be I know that it will be kind of like a lot, but I also know that you can do it and you've got a whole week. So let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what your concerns are and your questions. I know you've got them and I can help you. So fortunately, we don't have like 1,000 people watching this right now. We just have a handful. And so I can answer your specific questions. And I am more than happy to do that. So let's come up with a plan. Let's come up with an idea and go for it and just start getting some people interested in what you've got going on. Okay. So I can hardly wait. And if you would be so kind as to give me some feedback on what happened last week, I would love that. And I know so would everybody else. So if you just want to say, what you went live, what you talked about, and, what kind of reception that got, we would love to hear that. Thanks so much, you guys. I'll see you next week. Bye.